Hey, and welcome to IMO in my opinion with J&M. John, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, I would like to formally apologize for the video last week. It should have came with like a warning or something, like a may induce a seizure.
Oh, because of the color gamut?
Everybody was bright. Poor Esai looked like he was about to get beamed up by a UFO.
He was going to go on the Starship Enterprise.
Oh my God, it was bad.
But yet you're the one that was so eager for me to put it up. And I was wondering why.
Well, because you sent me the video and you were like, oh, it looks bad. And I was like, yeah, I saw it, but just put it up. But I didn't really see it.
Oh, yeah, I noticed. Yeah, we were having technical issues. We're using an iPhone to record our guest. And
your favorite iPhones.
I'm telling you. And the iPhones, for some reason, like to record in HDR. And that's not compatible with a lot of things. So
that's all mumbo jumbo to me.
The bad thing is it pisses me off because the actual file looks fucking great. If you watch it on the phone, it looks great. Watch it on the computer, it looks great. But if I put it in my software, for some reason it fucking goes crazy. Right. But anyways, we have a guest today. I'll let her introduce herself.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Destiny Campos in the Milne. I go by D Money. Just playing, I don't. My name goes by Destiny Campos. My family calls me D Money for some odd reason.
D Money, okay.
I wanted to be a rapper back then, but that didn't happen.
Yeah,
dang,
didn't happen.
Rapper.
Rapper.
I bet you got better bars than you do, John.
Damn. No, I can't spit bars.
My family called me Disappointment.
Oof, good one.
Damn.
Good one. So why are you here? What's going on? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to?
Let's talk about boxing.
Boxing. You're a boxer, right?
Yeah,
You're working out right now. You're getting in shape. I've been watching you on Facebook do your thing at the gym. So boxing. I see you hitting bags pretty hard. What have you who you been fighting? Have you won anything? Where are you fighting at?
Yeah, actually, I fought at the Cicero Stadium in Chicago, Illinois, as a Golden Glove champion. I knocked her out first round in 1 minute and 59 seconds with her right hand.
Why do I feel like you probably punch really hard? I don't know why you just look like you have a pretty hard punch.
Maybe because I do.
I mean, but like, you know how like some people, like if you looked at me, would you say that I would punch hard?
Hell no.
See, like Jonathan, you would say he would punch hard. But here's the funny part. So we've gone to those stupid little punching machines that measure how hard you hit it.
Yeah.
And he gets really fucking pissed at me because I punch harder than he does.
First of all, it's minuscule.
Did you notice how quick he freaking jumped into that? Did you notice that?
I don't know how accurate those things are. And plus, he has longer arms, so he's
that
hitting.
Doesn't mean anything.
But you also,
it means something.
You also have more strength than I do.
So how come you lose?
And not by a little bit, like by a margin, right? Because you can lift hella more than I can, right? And you're comparing that to the fact that I have a longer arm.
Let's be honest. If I trimmed down, I'd maul that machine.
Did you punch the bag right? Is the question.
I hit it pretty hard.
How'd you hit it? Did you hit it like this?
No. I hit it straight fist.
Okay.
I hit it with a straight. He tries to hook it, and maybe that's his problem.
Yeah,
but I go straight. I go straight
definitely.
forward.
Yeah.
And I hit it pretty hard. But anyways, back to your boxing. I mean, I've actually played basketball at Cicero Stadium. That's a pretty cool place to play.
Yeah.
So how long ago was this?
This was back in 2019. Yeah, I was like only 19 years old when that happened.
What weight class are you fighting?
I was fighting at 152.
152?
Yeah, 152. I should have been lower than that, but it was just because I was gaining muscle during my boot camp, so that's what he wanted from me. So
okay. And how many fights have you had?
Honestly, I had 3 fights. I lost 2, lost 1. Yeah, I want to get back into it, though.
How did you lose? I know we don't like to talk about losses, but losses
don't
are
be
cool.
Putting me on blast.
Losses are good to talk about. That's how we get better.
No, I literally
Decision?
I was no, hell no.
Tau?
No. More like this is a big ass Goliath, okay? Like this girl looked like she was on steroids. I don't know what the fuck I was fighting, but all I remember is
sure
that was a midget. I hope not.
Does it look like John?
I don't think it looks like John.
Were you fighting a transgender?
Yeah, I don't
nowadays
know.
Nowadays all you had to do is say you're a girl
was.
now. That's all you got to say.
I was scared because I knew I was gonna get my ass beat. That's literally like I went into it. I'm like, damn, this bitch is gonna knock me out.
And that was
she did.
Was that your first fight?
I got knocked out. That was my second fight. I won my first fight. That was a fight of the night for my first fight. For the second fight, she like kept knocking me down. I kept getting back up. And they're like, we got to end it. I was like, no, I'm good to go. But amateur fights, and the way they work is, after 2 like knockdowns, you gotta stop.
Yeah, okay, so they got a tuned up.
Yeah, I was a true Mexican. I kept getting back up and stuff.
That's it. That's all that matters.
And I learned from that fight. So
okay, so your first fight you won by knockout?
Yeah, that was my Golden Gloves. Yeah,
Golden Gloves?
Yeah, that was like my second fight, I think. Yeah.
So what made you want to box? Are you just hitting people? Are you violent?
No, I'm not.
No, you don't seem violent.
No, I'm not violent. Actually, I went into the gym. I was like, yeah, I want to start fighting. They're like, do you ever fought before? I was like, nope. I want to learn today. So it was pretty cool.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah, definitely. And ever since then, they told me to never stop. And yeah, I don't know.
Good for you. Good for you.
I wish somebody would try me on the street, though.
Nah, you know what? See, those are the people that scare me because, like, you never really know.
We can get in trouble. We can get our license taken away.
No, of course. It's like Danny. I don't know if you know Danny, the guy who owns the body shop. I feel like you've met him once, maybe.
No.
So he trains. He's trained. He's had a couple amateur fights, and he doesn't box anymore. But like he's trained for MMA and all that stuff. And he's kind of like a not intimidating guy, but like you don't want to fuck with him.
Yeah,
like you don't want to. You don't want to fuck with him. Like even though whenever he meet him play around, like he just moves a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, even remember when you were talking that shit about CM Punk, right? Oh, I could whoop CM Punk's ass, blah, 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 blah. Listen, training.
First of all, I wasn't talking crap. I was
being
telling
legitimate.
you what would happen.
He would whoop your ass.
No.
He'd whoop your ass. No. He's a trained fighter.
Hey, you could be a trained fighter to get your ass.
No, I agree. But we're talking about
you. Don't worry about
someone.
No,
okay, there's a difference. There's a difference between someone who fights and someone who fights in the street.
Yeah,
John, you've never trained in your life, ever, right?
That's not true. I used to go
watching
to
YouTube videos.
Boxing.
Don't count.
What do you mean?
Watching YouTube videos and
I used to go to a boxing gym.
When?
Oh, way back in the day.
So somehow you remember that? Okay, that's beyond the point. Here's the point.
Grand and Western. I'm not lying.
He's trained. Right? He's trained. He's not very good, but he's trained. No. So he knows how to move better than you would. Okay. I'm not saying you wouldn't hit him and knock him out. Because obviously you're a bigger guy. Him. You wouldn't know how to
read a fighter.
How to hit him. I think once he starts moving around you, you're not going to be able to hit him.
Is this boxing or is this UFC?
Boxing. Let's just go boxing because UFC. If you put him on the ground, he's going to get his ass kicked. But that's pretty obvious.
You don't want to pretty.
I mean, you can't fucking. You're a big guy, man. What am I? You put him on the ground. I mean, that's what happened in the UFC. In reality,
that's exactly what happened.
He got his ass taken down, and that was the end of the fight.
Yeah, but boxing's a different sport.
Boxing and MMA is crazy. Like those differences.
You got to learn boxing in order to get into the MMA.
Agreed. Did you ever think about going MMA?
Fuck no, dude. Like ever since I see those girls' faces, I'm like, no, I can't lose my teeth.
Can you imagine fighting Amanda Nunes?
Dude, hell no. I don't.
She's one tough cookie.
I don't think no one can beat her right now. Even what's her name? Ronda Rosa.
Oh, she got her ass kicked.
Yeah, bro, she deserved that.
Twice, right? Nunes beat her twice.
Twice
or once?
I think once.
Do you not see how big she is compared to her? She's not how she is, and plus she can't beat her.
Amanda Nunes is an interesting fighter, right?
No, she's a strong fighter, and she's known for her power. And
it's crazy because everybody thought that when she fought Cyborg, it was going to be interesting, right? Because Cyborg was really known for punching people,
and it was an eye opener because she fucking
her face. Have you seen her face?
You don't know. Cyborg got in a pretty clean shot,
absolutely,
and then she kind of like was like whoa, and then she just came back with like.
I mean, but let's think about it. How long Cyborg's been fighting for longer, because Cyborg, well, maybe not longer, but professionally, like in the spotlight, she's been fighting longer.
Look at her face; she's been fighting for a long time.
Sure, because I mean, Cyborg's been fighting since what's her face was still the pretty girl from what was that other brand?
Oh, the Mandalorian,
the one that got fired,
Gina Carano.
Yeah, so since back then, right? Because Gina Carano was probably one of the first girls.
Love of my life.
Yeah, she's really pretty. Carano was one of the first girls to ever fight in MMA, right? That are really like went mainstream. So that was a long time ago. And then Cyborg is still fighting since then. So Cyborg's been around for a while.
Older, though.
And Nunes was giving her them hands. I mean, I don't think I've seen Amanda Nunes get taken down to the ground. Not once have I seen her like in peril. You know what I'm saying? Like she hasn't been backing up or in the defensive. She's always been in every fight I've ever seen her in. She's always been on offense. 100% of the fight.
There are 3 women in the UFC that would scare me. That's Nunes, Cyborg, because they swing like guys. They swing like
hammers,
guys,
bro.
And Shevchenko, I think that's her name.
The one that Rose beat up?
No. She's a different weight
Loomis?
class.
Yeah, whatever.
You're talking about Thug Girls, right?
She's badass.
She's
bad. She's bad. And she was so. I mean, she still looks cute.
She's so confident.
She still looks cute with her short hair like that. But like, she used to be so pretty when she had long hair. I mean, but
that's what the UFC does to you.
She's got hands. Like
she knows how to fight on the ground.
Oh man, like when she fought, I thought you were talking about that other the real cocky girl.
I can't stand her.
No, the Polish girl.
Yes.
No, not her. It's the I don't know if she's Polish or Russian. The blonde.
But you're talking about the one that fought Nunes. Oh, the one you're scared of. That's the one you're talking about.
Wait, what are we?
Yeah, there's.
I was talking about the girl.
She's light skinned. I think she's Russian or Polish, and she has like blonde hair.
Really? Is it the one with the braids? Yeah, right.
I think she's done braids before. She kicked this girl in the face. So
I'd be scared of any girl who's an MMA fighter.
Right?
Like
I know you.
I'm not.
I wouldn't be scared because I know how to fight. But like, if they start throwing feet, I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
That's a whole different ball game, right?
I'd be thrown off.
That's exactly what happened to that girl. She was looking at the hands and got a shin to her neck.
So how do you feel about? Did you happen to hear about the Conor McGregor and the Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah,
the boxing thing. Ago. And then what was the newer ones? The one
Logan Paul and
not May. No, there were 2 boxers. The little brother one.
Logan
the one
Paul.
that he
Jake
fought.
Paul.
Jake Paul fought Ben Askren. He fought Ben Askren, who was a UFC fighter. And got knocked the fuck out.
No, he didn't.
Well, he took a flop. He took a flop.
No, he did it because of the money.
Sure. Do you think you as a boxer, right? Do you think you can compete if they gave you money to compete in a mixed martial arts fight?
Like UFC?
Maybe not that level.
Like
let's say
MMA?
your level. Let's say your level, but mixed martial arts.
Okay, go on.
Would you think you could compete?
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Please.
Yes. As long as I get the right fucking trainers, the best trainers out there to teach me that level of like competition and learning how to throw my legs and doing spin moves.
I'm right here.
No, that's definitely not the right guy you want training you at all.
I don't think so either. I'll get my ID. I probably wouldn't be ending up walking again.
If you want a weightlifting partner, that's the guy you want. But besides that, I don't think he's too good for
Yes,
anything.
I would definitely do that. Fuck yeah.
Here's my thing.
It's a different experience too.
Sure. I would feel, and I think this is why it's always become like these MMA fighters that go try to box. It's always that direction, right? It's always MMA going into boxing, because I feel like if you grab a boxer and you put him in MMA, it's a really, really worse of a chance. Like you have, if an MMA fighter goes into a boxing ring, and let's just say they have a 5% chance of winning that fight against a professional boxer, the other way around, it's like a negative 5%.
It is, because they fight a little different too. So
they fight hella different though.
They throw hands like this. That happened to the McGregor and
that's the thing. That's the thing. So imagine you're a boxer, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Wow, John, I heard that. What the heck, bro?
What's going on here,
man?
Frog in my throat.
So imagine, okay, so your biggest weapon is obviously your hands, right?
Right.
And be able to using your base to throw punches.
Hell yeah.
Right? Okay. So if an MMA fighter takes you to the ground, so now they've neutralized your legs, which is mostly what you use to throw good punches, right?
Right.
So now you're on your back. How would you be able to defend yourself? And then mind you, this is going to be kind of you're not going to have as much time to practice, because obviously you've practiced for longer in boxing. Right. And if they tell you, okay, you're going to fight a UFC fight or UFC style fight, you got 6 weeks to learn something, how to kick or how to block a kick or whatever. I think I would rather teach you how to block a kick than throw a kick.
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably easier to learn.
You won't pick your leg up.
Right.
I mean, there's a way to do it and how to see it coming.
You pick your leg up.
But would you focus more on teaching her how to throw a kick or how to defend the kick?
I think
I don't think you have enough time to do both.
Defend and punch.
I think you have to defend it. Yeah, defend and punch.
If I was on the ground, to be honest, I would try to roll myself back onto my back and grab her and like kind of like she's gonna have me in a chokehold. But like, to be honest, I'm gonna try to roll on my back.
And I think that's where I feel like MMA fighters need to stay in the cage and boxers need to stay in the ring
Did you-
because they're two different. They're way like it's not fair either way you go. I mean, I don't know. What say you, John? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know
Well,
what to do.
A boxer going into MMA, obviously, there's a thing called a puncher's chance. You can fucking hit somebody and knock somebody out. The other way around, I don't know. These guys, they've been boxing. If you're a boxer, you've been boxing probably since you were like fucking 8, 9 years old. So I mean, their hands are going to be a lot faster, a lot more slick. Their defense is going to be better. They're going to punch harder, better technique. They're going to have
Better
the
blockage.
shorter, crisper punches, and they will knock you out.
No, I agree.
there's-
I agree. I think, and the same kind of goes. I think the same kind of goes the other way around too. Because if you're an MMA fighter, you train to strike, right?
Yeah.
So that means you know how to knock someone out. You know what I'm
Boxing
saying?
is striking too as well.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like you have the same puncher's chance in both ways. Either the MMA fighters going into
for
boxing,
sure.
you always
It
have
all depends. Like if you're a wrestler, if you're an MMA fighter and you're mostly with the wrestling and you go into like exactly what happened to Ben Askren. He had no chance of winning. Like I think he took a dive, but
I mean, I think he
wasn't
would have
gonna
had a
win.
chance if he actually would have fought. I think he took a dive.
I
Like he
think so,
literally
too.
got paid.
There is a fight in the UFC where he took a
You know-
bunch of shots and a lot harder than what Jake Paul did to him, and he ended up winning that fight. And he took
You know who he's fighting next, right?
who?
It's this
Woodley.
UFC.
He's fighting-
He's training with Mayweather. You know that, right?
Woodley's training with Mayweather.
You better. Shit.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you what.
He's
Woodley.
40.
That's the one thing. I think the one thing that
A little old.
the UFC fighters
The
are not.
UFC.
The UFC fighters are not thinking about is their conditioning because
It's
it's a
different.
whole different thing. That's a whole different kind of worms. I mean, you're at the max on an MMA side is 5 rounds, 5 minutes each, right?
It's still about strength and conditioning. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's the same condition, to be honest, but differently.
But you
when they
box,
train,
you throw more punches in boxing.
than you do
than you
with
do in UFC.
That's correct.
So you have
100%.
you have more time to I guess quote unquote conserve energy.
I don't feel like you can conserve energy at all during a fight. You still like.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. I agree with you because either if you're on the ground, you're still using energy or whatever.
Yeah, regardless.
I'm
I just
still-
feel this one might be interesting because I think he can actually throw a really wicked punch.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
Tyron
yeah.
Woodley has always been known for throwing a wicked ass punch.
The
So who knows?
thing is, Jake's smart, man. He's not picking guys in his weight class.
He's not picking
guys
anybody
Sounds
in
like
his-
Mayweather.
20 pounds lighter.
Yeah, he's
than
picking
him.
his fight, which I guess is smart.
He
It's
makes
smart.
money.
I mean-
He's making money.
And he's
at the
picking
end
guys that are older. Watch his next fight's gonna be with like Chuck Liddell. That's gonna be fucking hilarious.
It would
He
be
should
nice-
fight Tito Ortiz.
No, Tyson. What's his name again?
Tyson?
Right? No,
Mike Tyson?
No, not Mike Tyson. No, he should though.
But nah, Tyson will.
Nah,
if Tyson
give me
actually
that.
wants to fight, Tyson will kill him with one punch.
And he's,
I'll be
he's
ready
not
for
going
that.
to embarrass himself by drawing with a YouTuber.
Right.
that's
he's
good. I think
bigger than that.
he took a that was a weak ass draw too with Roy Jones.
Yeah, but Roy Jones was a world champion. Jake Paul is.
I
Jake
would have
Paul.
loved instead of seeing Logan Paul and Mayweather, I would have paid money to see Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. fight. Even right
Really?
now, yeah,
Yeah.
because at least they have similar styles, right? So it would have been interesting to see the dodging and whatever. Even though Roy's
Yeah.
obviously a lot older and not in his prime at all, but it would have been interesting to see those two because that would have been if they were in their primes together. That would have been a hell of a fight.
But they're different weight classes. Roy Jones is like 20 pounds heavier than Mayweather.
I'm
And
just
they're
saying
fine.
it would have
Feel
been
about
interesting.
it.
I'm not saying it was going to
would've
happen.
been
It
for,
would
like,
have
an
been interesting.
exhibition for older guys. Yeah,
It would have been
a little
interesting
bit
to see
better.
because they fight so similar. The only difference between them is that Jones went in there to knock somebody out, and Mayweather went in there to win in 12.
My boxing coach, he goes my Montel Griffin named Ice. He actually fought him. Yeah,
For who?
Jones.
Jones?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Windy City. Yeah, that's where
I saw
trained with him from.
Jones. I met Jones at one of my Best Buy stores one time when he was signing autographs, and this dude he gets up and he just starts like shadow boxing, I guess if you want to call it.
Yeah.
And he just starts moving his hand like he starts all slow and then oh my god.
He still has it.
Holy! I mean, this was a while ago. This was
Oh,
when he was
okay.
still. I think he was still fighting at the time. This was like in the early 2000s.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he was still
Um,
fighting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! I've never seen hands
That
move
quick.
so fast in my life. You know how like
So
you know
cool.
when you move a pencil and you move it fast enough, it looks like it's
Yeah.
wiggling.
It looks
It
like
was
that.
almost like his hands were like
Jesus.
noodles.
Like
Like it was
lightning.
crazy. It was crazy. Like to think to get hit
That's
20
what happens
times
when
like
you
that.
do something every day for hours and
Hold
hours on end.
That's all you would do.
Hold on for a second.
So we. Like,
So we just had a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm testing out something else, so that kind of shut down on me. But we're up and running again, hopefully for a little while. But if it does happen again, that's why we're having issues. Anyways, what were we talking about?
boxing,
Boxing.
UFC. We went
UFC.
into
Okay,
that.
cool.
Who's your favorite boxer?
To be honest, I know it sounds like crazy, but it's Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, yeah.
You like
And
Canelo Alvarez?
Canelo Alvarez and Tank Giante.
Oh, the guy Mayweather.
Yeah,
promotes.
he's a fucking beast.
Didn't he just fight?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
No.
Not
Did he
knock him down,
He
knock
won by
him.
decision, didn't he?
No,
No,
he knocked
no.
him down.
Wasn't that recently?
Yeah, that was like 2
the
weeks
Mexican
ago.
guy, I think.
He knocked him out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I could have sworn I was watching a
Body
fight.
shot. Couple body
Nasty
shots.
uppercut.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was an uppercut, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that kid looks like he hits fucking
Dude, bro,
hard.
he is like a brick.
But why would you train?
Baltimore
But why
kid.
would you train with Mayweather, who's like the complete opposite?
Because he's gonna make him money at the
I,
end.
That's
I
true.
don't think he trains him. He
He promotes him.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Because I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying Mayweather goes around saying he's gonna knock people out. I'm like, bro, just don't say that because you don't knock.
Mayweather trains you.
Your defense
mean,
is
yeah.
gonna be great.
I mean, don't get me
He's
wrong.
gonna train your legs.
Mayweather
to
is the
backpedal and fucking put your hands up to.
Mayweather is the greatest boxer
defensive
to ever play
more of a
to
defensive
ever fight.
Yeah,
I mean, overall, I think you have to give it to him.
he's.
I mean, who else would be?
Hell
Who else
no.
is above him?
Don't be hating.
Who else is above him?
Not
Chavez?
Manny,
You
no,
see-
Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao's good.
Yeah, he's up there. Definitely on
He's got
his
too many
level.
losses though.
That's true.
That's compared
Yeah,
to.
but you know what? As far as fighting, what are we talking about? Like the
Muhammad
cleanest
Ali.
record
Overall,
I think Muhammad Ali's overrated.
Is the-
by the way,
wow.
you think Muhammad Ali's overrated?
yeah.
I
really?
can't believe you just
I
said
think
that.
when they go back and
I'm about to
say,
throw this mic at you.
well, when they no, it's not that he's over. Okay, when they go back and say, who do you think would win, Tyson or Muhammad Ali? I think they, out of respect, they say Muhammad Ali. I think people really think Tyson would have killed him.
I mean, but let's think about that real
Sugar
quick.
Ray.
Just for 1 second. 1 second. Let's think about that. So you're saying Mike Tyson would have knocked out Muhammad
Demolished
Ali?
him.
Okay. Do you think no one in boxing history hit as hard as Mike Tyson, or harder? You don't think Evander Holyfield hit harder, or Smoking Joe Frazier hit harder?
Yeah,
Maybe not as fast.
And Joe Frazier knocked him out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Muhammad won twice.
Yeah. Okay. But
So, I mean-
Frazier didn't hit harder than Tyson, and
You don't think Frazier hit as hard as Tyson?
George Foreman was another one. George Foreman was a really strong guy. He could punch. He can punch really hard.
Yeah.
But he missed a lot. He was wild. Tyson was fast, but he wasn't wild. He would hit his
He knows
target.
He was
His
compact.
angles.
He was
His
compact,
angles.
which it was good for him.
If Muhammad Ali tried that
rope-a-dope
rope-a-dope, he would have been a dope.
Dude,
He would have
you,
been
you
knocked
know what?
out
You know
through
what's
the
you know
ropes.
what's fucked up? I was watching. They were showing his fights, the ones with Frazier on ESPN Classic, and I was watching them. And there's like 3 or 4 times where Frazier hit Muhammad when he's trying to do that rope-a-dope stuff, and dude, he looked like his lights turned off. Like 4 or 5. I don't know what kept him on his feet. I mean, he fell. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he knocked him down like 4 or 5 times in those fights. But there was some times he hit him and he just like I
Eyes
don't
crossed.
bro,
Yeah.
I don't know what
what
the fuck
happens.
he was looking at, bro. Like, I mean, more power to him because he survived those fights. But Muhammad, I think Floyd's a better fighter than Muhammad in the sense of technical,
There you go,
right?
yes.
And overall, he has a way better record than Muhammad has, right?
Oh yeah.
He beat quote unquote the best of his career of his era, right? I mean,
He's the best.
you know,
in his
and Muhammad
era.
lost
Right.
to the best in his era,
But he's still
and he
the
also
best.
won, right? He beat the best in
mean,
his era,
yeah.
but he also has losses to those same people.
Well, here's the thing with Floyd. He kind of ducked a couple fighters, a couple really good fighters. So he kind of picked and chose who he wanted to fight, And when you do that, when you control like who you're fighting and the styles, then chances are you're gonna come out with a pretty clean record.
Well, a lot of boxers do that, just not him too. Just that.
Oh yeah, I know.
A lot of
I think you have to be smart about it.
Other people, somebody who takes on everybody, I'll put over and has a really good record. I'll put over Mayweather, like Pacquiao.
Yeah, I mean, I again, don't get me wrong. I agree with her. I think, a lot of boxers do that. And that's probably smart. You should probably pick your fights, especially once you reach a level that you can pick and choose who the hell you want to fight.
But then don't blame people for putting other fighters ahead of you.
But I don't think that's, in Floyd's case, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think anyone really thinks Floyd isn't the best boxer to ever live.
More of a offensive fighter.
If he's one of the most boring fighters in boxing, maybe you have a case, because he's not in there to knock somebody out. He's in there to win a fight.
He's a rabbit. He's jumping in.
He's that. Yeah, I mean, he's not in it to knock somebody. That's why I think Roy was better. Roy was better because Roy fought and he went in there to win the fight, like by knockout first. And if he went the distance, he went the distance. This guy, Floyd, kind of just says, I'm going to knock you out. And then 12 rounds later, we're going to the cards.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah, we're going to the cards. I think he said he was going to knock out Logan Paul, and we went to the
almost did.
Yeah,
but we kept them up.
But we end up going to the cards. I'm like, this is when it's like, bro, just knock that motherfucker out.
He knocked him out twice on that. Yeah.
But enough about the pros. Let's keep talking about your thing. So when's your next fight? Do you have a next fight coming up?
I do not have a next fight. I actually.
John said he'll fight you.
Did I?
Do you want to?
I'm kidding.
We'll make a ring in the back and just do it.
I'm kidding. You'll probably beat him up. I got my money on you.
Bet. How much money you talking?
I'll put money on you.
Bet. You heard that? I'm beat your ass.
You would be
world star.
And we'll put it on the podcast too on IMO. It'll be one of IMO's production. We're gonna end up with a production like what Kimbo Slice used to have. Eventually, everybody will come back here trying to fight you. So you're also an actress.
Yes.
Or you're starting to dabble into the acting world.
Yes, I am.
Why? What made you want to do that?
Honestly, I always wanted to do that as a little kid. I remember being in class. My teacher would give us scripts, and we kind of do like role plays. And he told my mom that he was like, you know what, your daughter can really act. She gets into the role. She's very over dramatic. She goes with and she likes to write. And then eventually I wanted to start acting, and I auditioned for a couple things. One of them was for Concrete Rose. I have one credit for that.
Oh, I was in that too.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, basically everybody in this podcast.
Everybody except John, because John doesn't look Hispanic. Yes, he's Hispanic, by the way. Just in case you were thinking.
You got blue eyes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Everybody who comes on this set always thinks he's not Puerto Rican.
So yeah, we're gonna be making a film called Destiny, basically based off my life. This guy named Larry, he's my mentor. He has a lady that is gonna be sponsoring for my movie, giving me money to raise and get big actors into my movie, because that's what he wants.
Good shit.
So, yeah,
that's what you
it's gonna be a very inspirational movie. So I can't wait for that. It's gonna take a minute, but hey, I'd rather it be perfect than anything else.
I just finished one, and it took me about half a year. So
yeah,
and it was just 15 minutes.
Can I play the big lady that
on the side street asking for money?
Yeah, I'll just put like a big wig on and fucking.
You're not an actor, John. You've said this yourself.
Hey, we can give him a try.
He doesn't even want to try it. I give him lines to do on auditions, and he goes nuts. All he's doing is reading lines for me.
Nuts? What do you mean by nuts?
You go crazy on yourself when you mess up.
Yeah, because I'm hard on myself. That's the sign of a great actor. Yes.
You should
no.
No. You do know it's fake, right? You shouldn't be beating yourself up.
Who's your boy that started screaming at everybody on set?
Who?
John.
The Batman fucking.
Oh, he's talking about Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Because he went crazy on a light guy.
He's hard on
in one of the Terminator movies.
He's hard on other
you're talking
people.
about that.
You ever hear that?
No.
He goes nuts. Like, I guess somebody he was doing a scene or whatever, and in the background, and I understand it now, right? Obviously I would never get that crazy, right?
I think you would. I think if you got to a big enough level, you'd be like,
okay, but
fuck you, you're fired.
I understand though, and maybe it doesn't. You understand? You've been in front of a camera before.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so when you're in front of a camera, and you're focused on what you're doing. You know how we're trained to focus on our scene partner, right? So that's all we just see what's in front of us.
Right.
But obviously we have a peripheral as human beings. We can see left to right, what's going on. We're trained not to look at it, but we see it. So when something's distracting,
you want to look.
But it's distracting, right? I mean, even though we're trained to keep going, but sometimes it's just so fucking distracting that it's like
you can't keep focus.
You lose focus. So Christian Bale basically goes nuts because supposedly this light person was walking around behind his co-star, and he just goes ape shit on him. He's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't give a shit about what's going on in front of the fucking camera. And he just goes crazy on him. And the bad thing was somebody recorded it because it came out. But
he has every right. What the fuck?
I mean, you still have to be a professional though.
Be nice about it. You want to be known as an asshole. And
he's known for being an asshole.
Okay, there you go.
He's known for being. The only problem is that people hire him because he's a really good actor.
But he's an asshole.
Okay, so you want to be an actress.
Yes.
You were in Concrete Rose. How was your experience with John and all the gang?
It was awesome. It was they're very humble people. He gave me a part. I met a lot of Enrique. I met what's his name again? I forgot his name. Jose Jr. or something like that.
There was a lot of
Santiago.
What day did you? What was your scene?
I was basically walking in. John would walk. I can't say.
Too much.
No, my bad, John.
So you were what, a waitress?
A waitress, yeah. I had to time to be on camera and speak a little bit to John. And
cool. John was a really cool guy. When he's definitely somebody had posted that they were looking for Hispanics or whatever, so I just threw my headshot in there to see what happens, and then John called me, and we talked for a little bit. Basically, he was going to shoot a scene, and he wanted obviously nothing but Hispanics. And then
at the airport, right?
Yeah, at the airport. Right there. And then he called me. And we had a conversation, and we talked for like maybe 45 minutes, on ideas and where I'm at, where he's at, and blah blah blah. And I think he liked that. Yeah, that I was like that. No, because he basically he gave me a couple lines for the scene, which I don't think was the original plan, but I felt honored because he gave it to me.
It's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, and it was really cool. It was really cool. Hopefully we see it soon. I think it's
I can't
in post-production already.
Yeah. I heard there's going to be a red carpet and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool, right?
That would be cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where he's going to do it, though, because he has a lot of actors that are in California and Chicago, all over. So, I mean.
Just flying people over?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
He had a couple good.
JT Campos.
Yeah, he had the guy. That's the guy from
Queen of the South.
He also had the Hispanic guy who's always a gangbanger in every movie. The guy from Training Day, the bald one.
Oh my God!
He was in Fast and the Furious.
Dang.
Was
Bruce Almighty.
I know what you're talking about.
He was in the Dark Knight too.
The Purge.
Yeah, he was in the Purge.
Yeah,
he was in the Purge. Him. He's in like every time you need a Hispanic gangbanger, he's the guy. He's the guy who you go get. Which is cool. I mean, fuck it. I mean, he's got the easiest job in Hollywood. I mean, he just has to basically be himself. Just fuck it. You know,
calling him a gangbanger.
He has the look of a gangbanger.
No. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Rocky? You're not talking about Rocky, right?
No.
Okay.
I forget his real name. But we all know who we're talking about. Okay, so Concrete Rose, you did that scene. What else have you been doing? What else were you in?
Right now, I'm doing Drill City. That is currently going to be a series and going on Netflix probably by next year and stuff. Right now, I have filming next week, Saturday. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that, getting back into it. It's kind of like focusing on myself, getting myself a job. I work at a gym, which I love because I work out for free.
See, that's why I need to find a job at a gym. If I work at a gym, I feel like you have no choice. Do
overnights. You just sleep under the desk.
That's what you did when you worked at Planet Fitness, didn't you?
No, I actually worked.
Did you? What'd you do?
Yeah.
You cleaned?
I was
a sales member.
Man, I did everything. I cleaned. I was I was the only one there.
Dang.
And
you worked at the one on Harlem, right?
No, the one on Pulaski.
Oh, okay, I got you.
The funny thing is, the guy they had me working with.
I thought you just said you were by yourself.
Yeah,
I was by myself because the old boy would just go into his car for like 3 or 4 hours and do God knows what. So he would just leave me there. And by the time, you know, I'm big on quitting. And I don't give that 2-week notice. So
this dude's resume is like 20 pages long.
this guy comes up with a story about, oh, my nephew had a gun and the cops are looking for him. I got to go get him. And he takes off and it's been like 3-4 hours. And I got to start my other job. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I quit. I left.
You left without like.
Oh, there was
he
nobody.
never leaves.
There was
with 2-week
nobody.
notices ever.
There was free Red Bulls and Gatorades for anybody who wanted.
Dude, that has to be like
Nobody
the
was
easiest
in there.
job, though, especially night shift. I
That
mean, how many
sounds-
people are going to Planet Fitness at 3 a.m?
you
Not too many.
I
Probably
mean,
15 people.
Towards the morning, there would be like a group
Sure.
of people, and there was nobody there to greet them that day. I guess.
Because you quit.
Huh?
Because you quit.
Oh, I quit. I don't give a shit.
That him quitting is a routine.
It's like a running joke now.
Yeah, it's
Everybody knows you for not putting
Yeah.
in
dude.
your 2 weeks.
This dude has quit every second job he's ever had.
I
Literally,
can't
like
lie
I
with
mean,
you.
yeah, he called me one time. I'm at work, so he started this job right by my job, right? And he calls me at work,
Okay.
and he's like, "Bro, you should come work over here. You should do this like as a second job or whatever." Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to work 2 jobs. And then like literally like half a week later, I'm like, hey, how's that job going? I quit. I just left it.
Who hurt you? Why'd you quit so quick?
I don't know. I don't even know which
You
job
had-
he's
you had a
talking.
problem
It's been
stacking
so
boxes.
many. Here's the funniest one. I quit during an orientation, so I had the job.
You barely started the
I
job.
had so I had the job, and it was like a group of like 25 people, and for some reason I got the bubble.
So you had to take a shit.
So I was like, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I said, hey, where's the bathroom? And the guy who organized it, he goes, yeah, it's that way. So I walked the other way towards the door, and the building was like all glass.
So they saw you walking up.
They saw me running.
Why'd you run? What'd you do?
I had to take a shit. That's why
He
I
was,
ran.
he was nervous. He thought he was cutting class or leaving the building or something.
And
That's
then
what
you
we used
never
to do.
came back after that shit?
No.
Why'd you quit though? What happened?
I don't know.
So you showed up
I'm
to
really weird.
orientation and
Yeah.
then wanted to take a shit and never came back.
Yep.
Wow.
Basically
I
what
didn't
happened.
want to. I had to. It's that coffee.
That morning coffee run.
So let's go back to acting. So you're gonna do a film,
Yes.
right? Are you ready for that?
I am.
So what is your role going to be? Because if I give you any advice,
I'm playing an officer.
no. What I mean is,
Oh, okay.
besides acting in it,
Yeah.
what else are you going to be doing?
In my film movie?
Yes.
Like
Are you
my
gonna have
movie?
people doing things for you?
They're going to be doing half of the things for me because there's going
Okay.
to be a child playing it. And then as I grow, like I'll probably be playing it, but I'm going to be in the background kind of seeing how my life kind of rolls.
Okay. Because if I tell you one thing, if I give you any tip of advice, do not take on more responsibility than you have to.
Oh, no.
Okay,
I
like
already,
hire, find someone to move a camera for you, find someone to do editing for you, find someone to do audio for you.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I'm
if you take
people
all
for
that stuff on your own, it becomes the biggest headache in the planet.
Yeah,
It was
no.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I
definitely.
did.
Yeah, that's why I said like this woman, I'm blessed that she's going to be giving money
some
into
money.
the film. So I don't have to, we'll find the best people out there to help us with this film.
So where do I audition?
You already made it.
All right. That's what
You want to be
what-
part of it? You want to be in the background?
Background. No,
He
I
wants
wanna-
front and center.
He said
Oh, yeah.
background.
John, you gonna be in it?
Sure.
Oh,
Give me a role.
wow! I'm
So
you
shocked.
won't-
You
you won't-
actually
you won't
said
go
sure.
berserk?
Hopefully a non-speaking but main role. I don't
There's
know.
no
if
such thing.
There's no such thing.
There's no such
He
thing.
might
Well,
be getting
make one.
mad. He
Yeah.
might
Unless you're Bane.
Can I be
guess,
like
maybe.
a deaf mute cousin of yours or something like that?
walking by just giving you spare change or something.
So I don't know.
Be like Kane from
You could be an
WWE.
officer or something.
Yeah, the little voice box thing. Remember?
Sure.
My name was Kane.
Is that The Rock?
That was there you made fun of him. Yeah.
Hell no.
Okay, so when do you plan on starting, or have you written it down already? Have you
Yes,
you got
we
your
have
script
written
already?
it down. We just got to do a pitch now. And
Okay.
I really do want to make this into a movie instead of a series because the series would take more longer than making a movie.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try to do that, pitch it to Netflix. I have the right people, right connections. So I'm hoping to God that, this movie goes out there and inspires the world.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm all about inspiring, not making money. Because when you follow your dreams, you know, money follows along with you as well.
I'm hanging on to that dream. I'm
Yeah.
hoping it works.
It will work.
I'm
I
hoping
promise.
that it does.
You gotta manifest and it'll be there.
So what do you like about acting? What is it? What is it about it that intrigues you?
You know what? It's the people that you're around too. It's what makes it fun. It helps me just kind of get it out of my own world and go into a different character. And being into different characters, being sad, happy, emotional, I think it helps me as a human being to learn how to open myself up too. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool just being different characters.
I agree with you.
learned a lot up.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Did you take any classes?
I certainly am. You know, I know that look.
Where are you going? Where are
The
you
Chicago Acting School.
Chicago Acting School or Chicago Acting Studio?
The Chicago,
studio.
yeah, studio. Yeah, my bad.
The one I used to go to.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. Yeah,
So,
I'm going there. I'm going for the 8 weeks.
What in the world possessed you to go there? A friend, right?
Yeah, a friend.
Okay. I feel like I've seen him around before.
Yeah, his name's Larry. Larry, if you're
yeah.
watching this, what's up, bro?
I'm not gonna badmouth it for
No, just be
100%.
completely
that's
honest.
one of the guys who shunned you for something like that.
Damn, what?
Yeah, but we're not gonna go into that. You know, I'm over that already.
What?
No, I'm not. I mean,
You trying to bring beef?
no. Let.
Sure, why not?
You want to hear my experience?
Yeah,
There?
let me
Okay,
hear
so let's go with that.
So
So
maybe you can save me some money from not going.
okay,
there.
look, I won't say that you won't get
Don't do
any
that. Don't
you won't
take
get any benefits
business
from
away
there.
from people.
No. You'll get something from there. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. I went there because it was the cheapest classes I could take.
Right.
You know, so I went. I was a novice. I didn't have an idea of how to act or anything. So I went there, and you know, first impressions weren't the greatest, but you know, everybody improves. They had problems and whatever. My thing with that place was when I left, I went looking for a place that had more camera oriented
Okay.
teaching because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in front of a camera. I didn't want to be on stage. And at Chicago Actors, they're more based on stage, which is fine because you need that too, right? Don't get me wrong. I think it's useful, right?
Right.
I think it's useful. If you talk, most really, really good actors started on stage, you know?
As theater, right?
Yeah, in theater. So like I did a scene with J.K. Simmons and he was telling me how he spent 20 years on stage before he got into acting, into film acting.
Wow.
So, I mean, it helps, right? But for me, I wanted to stay in front of the camera. That was the main reason why I left. What else can I say? I mean, I learned a lot. Don't get me wrong. You learn, you know, stage presence on how to move on
Get to the
stage.
bad
With your
stuff.
hands in your feet.
What happened?
I just said what happened. I wanted to be in front of a
Said that's
camera.
not the truth.
You're talking about what happened with a set individual.
I don't know.
That's what you're
I'm not
trying to
talking
get at,
about
right?
Anything.
When we had Janetta here on set. That's what you're talking about, right?
Was that the same studio?
Yeah, because that's where we met.
Okay.
Because one of the teachers you're probably going to meet there. If
One
you
of
haven't
them is
started,
Ed.
have you started going already?
No, not yet.
You met Ed.
Yeah, somewhat. Yes, I did.
Unfortunately for you, you've met Ed.
What does that mean?
Right.
Ed is a fucking character. Let me tell you. I'll tell you. I can't even say too much about him because he didn't really talk too much to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you know, I'm a guy. He tends to
Right.
talk more to the girls. But that's neither here nor there.
Gotta.
So the first teacher I had there, or the only teacher I had there, was Lord and Krug, and
I still think that's a fake name. By the way,
I don't know. From
Lord.
what I know, that's his real name. He's a good actor. He taught me a lot.
What?
But we fell off, right, over a disagreement, like friendship wise.
Okay.
You know, over a disagreement. He was supposed to help me with my short film, but we had a disagreement, and you know, we went our separate ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, everybody has disagreements. You know, I apologized, and we talked one time, and then that was about it. But I mean, you can get a lot from him. They give you Lorden. Lorden's really good at certain things.
Okay.
You know, he's going to teach you how to move on stage, how to control your breathing and all that stuff that's necessary. You know, it's a good starting point.
Okay.
But I remember even him,
Is that an acting class or a Lamaze class?
voice is really important
Yeah.
in acting.
Basically, yeah. Every word has to sound perfect.
Right.
when
I
you're
mean,
talking.
It's a technique.
Sure, I know that.
It's like singing. But even he told me once, like, you're going to get to a certain point at that school where you're going to start to feel like what's the next step?
Right, because I want to be on camera as well.
Right. So I mean, I would say go there, and I think I told you this already. Like, get what you can from it, but don't set your heart on being there for a long time.
Okay.
Like, grab as much as you can, and once you feel ready, and you want to get in front of a camera or whatever, go look for an on-camera class.
All right, yeah.
But that would be me. That's the tactic
I love the
took.
cameras. I love the cameras on me, so I think that'd be a really good choice too.
Even though I think now they're a little different now. I think they're doing more camera work over there than they were when I was there. From what I've been seeing, more because of the COVID thing.
Right.
So they were forced to do Zoom calls and all this crap.
Isn't a little small area like they have? You've been there before anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I think you can learn a lot. You know, I would just say if you do want to be in front of a camera, at some point start looking for an on-camera class.
I could see you on Yelp. This place does not do.
Nah,
cameras.
I wouldn't. I would. No, it might be different now. I don't know. I haven't been there in a few years. But from my experience, I mean, again, I learned certain things on there. You know,
as
which are
a
important.
beginning actor, right?
Yeah, as a beginning actor. Then when I went from there, I went to the green room, which I learned more because you're on camera. So there you're starting to learn what they look for in auditions, like where you can play around with stuff. When, you know, like the moment before, the moment after, which I got my part because we did that in the audition he helped me with. Like one of the main things that's really important is that if you want to be different in your audition, you have a moment before and a moment after. So everything in between is script, right? You have your script. The moment before and the moment after is all yours. So like if, let's say your scene is you're in a grocery store.
Right.
And whatever, you're putting your stuff on the thing, you have your lines. So before that, you can grab the little stick and like do something. Something that's not scripted because that's before the fact.
Right. You want to make it look like you're getting into into scene.
Yeah, you have to have a moment before to get into your scene because scenes don't just start.
No, they don't.
Right. So if you're in character, you have to have a moment before. Okay, this is what I'm doing before the camera starts to go. So I get to my point.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I totally understand. Well, thank you for that tip.
Like my scene with JK, I was filling up his gas tank, right?
Yeah.
Basically. So like my moment before is I'm grabbing my gas tank, I'm picking it up, I'm walking to the car, blah, blah, blah. Even though the camera's not even looking at me. I'm behind the camera and I'm walking. So I'm already planning what I'm doing. I have a moment before, a moment after when I'm done. Like what am I doing after I walk out of frame?
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Totally
there's a lot of technique to it. And I'm not saying I'm a pro
but
at
you
all.
learned.
But I've learned certain things,
that,
you know.
Right.
But I would say again, take what you can from there, and then John, you have a that was you again.
What's going on?
Man,
I don't know. I'm like trying to suppress
you have that
a
WB
cough.
frog in your throat right now.
WB frog.
Remember the guy with that top hat?
WB.
I just said WB.
Oh,
the WB frog.
Yeah.
Again, I would just say, go there. You can learn some stuff there.
Okay.
Just I wouldn't stay stagnant there. I would
Can't
venture
stay,
around.
right.
You know, I'm doing that too. Like the green room right now doesn't have anything in person, so I went to the black box after, and then now I'm looking for another spot. So
Okay.
but so what's your goal as an actress? What are you trying to? What kind of roles do you play?
I play more of a serious role. I'm more of a.
I've seen you as a cop.
As a cop, a detective, military. I'm all into that because I'm fit. I can do my roles. I can do my own stunts. So
I saw you in a couple cop things. What were you doing there?
I was actually
A little bit of a hot seat there.
Yeah, I was getting out the car and I broke down a door with my feet. Like,
What were you working on there?
we're working. Well, I can't really say much, but it's not out there. It was for a music video, actually. I forgot his name, but it was for a music video. It was my first time kind of doing, on spot on me. And
You look like you could play a cop.
yeah, literally, like, was sliding for him, like, getting him down, choking him, like, playing a bad cop and stuff. Yeah, I can see myself doing stuff like that.
Cool. So
Yeah.
what else are you into? You know, if you're into fitness, you're into acting, you're into boxing.
Actually,
What else?
I love actually speaking out I have my own fan base. I do a lot of inspirational and motivational videos, talking about, kind of like my life. I feel like people really want to see what people really go through. At Facebook, people always posting good things, like, oh, I'm always happy, but really behind that, I always post the things that, how I feel, and it touches a lot of people. So yeah.
Anything else?
I actually
There's got to be more.
No, there's more. Trust me. I like going to the gun ranges. I like going into paintball.
See, but that's why I'm like you look like that tough girl that like
a Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah,
type.
like you don't fuck
Like
with this chick.
but a different like generation kind. Like my.
How old are you?
I'm only 21 years old.
21 years old. So you're a Gen Z. You just started drinking. As funny as that is, I went to the 7-Eleven today.
I
you know that
drinking at 16.
No. I mean legally. You know that sign in the back that says if your birthday falls on this year, or whatever. The fact that it says 2000 on there right now drives me crazy.
Oh yeah,
God, that makes me feel fucking old.
Yeah,
damn.
That means you're 21 oh God.
I was born in 2000.
That's what I'm saying. So like right now you're legally able to drink. And then I remember when I was a kid, like I used to see those dates and it was like in the 80s and whatever. And I'm like, holy shit.
What were we doing in the 2000s?
2000s, we were trying to survive from the Y2K. Well, that was right after. In the 2000s, well, we were watching the best time of WWF ever.
Oh yeah,
wrestling was the shit in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, back then with The Rock and Dwayne Johnson.
So you're a 2000 baby.
Yeah.
So you're 21. What's your opinion on stuff that's going on in the city right now?
In the city right now,
all this violence, all this stuff.
Man, I got a lot to say about that. To be honest,
let's touch on that for 5 minutes.
I'd love to, because seeing this generation of killing people, innocent lives are getting taken away from families, which is so sad. I can't even imagine what they go through. Our city needs a lot of change. A lot of politics goes on, and it's just sad to see police brutality and all that stuff going on. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it can be speechless, because I don't live in the city. I used to, now I do. But seeing all these like young kids getting killed, I can imagine like me walking down the street and I can get shot for just doing nothing. You know, it's a lot of change needs to be done. They don't care about us, our city. They don't, the race especially.
So what do you think?
That's like a message to the mayor.
Yeah. What's her name again?
Lightfoot, Lori Lightfoot.
I pass your house every day.
I just passed by her house the other day.
Really?
She lives on Bernard and Wrightwood.
Yeah.
I used to live. And she would have been my neighbor.
Where is that?
She would have been my neighbor because I lived on St. Louis and Wrightwood. It's like Kimball and Wrightwood.
She lives right there.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a pretty rich neighborhood. That block used to be like, we used to call it the rich neighborhood.
Why can't I picture it?
So it's you don't know where Wrightwood and Kimball is?
Yeah.
There's like a church. There's like a church in each corner there, and then I used to live on St. Louis, which is like 2 blocks west of Kimball.
Okay.
So Bernard is the block before Kimball, and she lives there now. But that block obviously has been there forever. But they used to have like big houses and whatever, and every year they would have like a block sale every year, and they would have good stuff.
Block sale.
Yeah, like they would like a yard sale, but for the whole block.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
And then they would have really good stuff, and then I couldn't afford any of it. So what I would do is I would wait till they would finish, and then since they were rich and they had the money, they would just throw the shit away. So then here I go through the alley,
dumpster
and I'm just I'm grabbing everything. Fuck that, I'm grabbing
couch,
everything. I'm grabbing everything.
Do that with her. Maybe you'll be able to uncover some files she's got hidden away.
Here's my thing.
Like that.
Here's my question to you, since you're a Gen Z.
Yes.
What do you think is the solution? Because I feel like a lot of Gen Zs don't have, like they'll say we need change, but if you ask them, what do you need change? What do you mean by change? And then they come up dry. So what say you?
Okay, yeah, I can definitely give you those answers, because the change needs more of working on the areas where the poors are at. They leave us poor. They don't want to help out the poor people that have no money. They don't want to give them jobs because they have no experience. I feel like they should make a foundation or an organization to help at least the poor people to get jobs and get their back on their feet. It's just sad to see people like that, like our own government likes to see us like this, and it's pretty sad. Like, there needs to be a change of helping others instead of hating on our own races. We should build each other, and that's not what we're doing. We're building each other down in this society.
Do you think that leads to the violence?
It does lead to the violence, because we have so much anger, and there's people out here killing because they don't care about us. Like,
and when you say people killing, who do you refer to?
It can be.
You mean us, like citizens, or you talk about like police?
Our own police, our own race, killing our own people. It's stuff like that. Like,
See, here's my point. So I have it saved. I was going to show you guys before we started, but I forgot. I saw a video. Something happened in Chicago. I don't know where it was. Really big, problem, and police were there, and police were just trying to hold people back. There was a knife that you can see on screen. There was a man who pushed a woman to the floor, and the police didn't really do much. They were just trying to control the situation. Okay. At the end, a girl gets hit by a car. Then they stop the car or whatever, and stuff happens. And but the situation was never under control. It was like mayhem the entire time. Okay. And then in the comments, it's funny. So somebody commented and said, "Oh, at least the cops didn't pull out their guns. No one was shot." I'm like, okay.
I don't agree with that part.
But now I'm like, so this girl got hit by a car. This other girl got pushed by a man. And there was another girl walking around with a knife. And no one was being withheld or anything. They were just trying to control the situation.
That's
Now, is that what we want?
No, because their job is to keep everyone at safe, and they were just watching people. That's what they want.
Right. But that's what I'm
They
saying.
don't care.
That's what people, no, but here's the difference. I think that's what people wanted.
That's what the people want. At least
People wanted
they
wanted the police not to pull weapons and to not threaten people. So in this particular case, it was a very dangerous situation, and they did what the people wanted, but the situation became worse, especially when that girl got hit by a car.
Right.
Because they couldn't threaten anyone with anything nowadays.
Because it's gonna scare everyone away. It's gonna cause more drama as it is.
But this is when it becomes a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Because I agree that sometimes police can be very jumpy and pull out guns way too quickly for stupid situations. But in a situation like this is when you need to threaten people. Because this could have it ended bad.
The word threaten. It's not.
I mean, you have to threaten someone to stop.
Give them authority, if anything.
But we're taking away their authority, and the police themselves are acting in a way that they don't want to do anything because of the repercussions that come with it. Because
why would they? Yeah.
And that's the problem. I think that's one of the problems with right.
You become end up in jail. So
you become enemy number one if you react. If you react in the right way or the wrong way, you're still looked at in a negative way. Especially with younger generations now, because the slogan now is every cop is bad.
Well, yeah, because of what we see in online, especially with George Floyd. Remember with that,
I just feel like those are situationals. I don't think it's a fair judgment to say that every cop is bad, and they all fall under that category.
Right. Not all cops are bad at all. I don't agree with that. I think there's good cops out there and there's bad cops out there, just like how there's good humans and bad humans.
Correct. And that's where I have my argument when it comes to people that say that slogan of all cops are bad. Okay, that's an unfair argument.
Right.
Because it's a small percentage of bad cops, if you really want to go through it.
It's funny because they'll even tell you, it doesn't mean all cops are bad.
But yet you're saying all cops are bad. Like, we have like 12,000 cops, probably. And that's still kind of small if you think of how many people live in the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
We got about 12,000 cops. Out of those 12,000 cops, probably, I'll go a high number and say 500 of them are probably bad. That's probably high. That are probably corrupt or racist or biased or whatever.
Could be, yeah.
Out of 500, out of 12,000 cops, right? Is it still fair for me to say that they're all bad?
No.
Okay, so the percentage is in the cops' favor that there's more good, way more good than there is bad.
I think it can outweigh the bad. Yeah, I think they'll definitely be good more than bad.
Now, and this is what my argument with the all cops are bad thing is. So that if you look at the criminal rate in Chicago, just Chicago alone, okay, who leads the league in homicides and murders?
Yeah,
so we go African Americans and then we go Hispanics.
I can say minorities. You can just say that instead.
It's literally labeled that way. They have them because we're separate. When it comes to criminality, they divide it that way so that way they can find whoever they're looking for. So if they're going to look for me, right, they're not going to say a minority. They're going to say a Hispanic,
Middle Eastern,
middle-aged, whatever. There's a reason why they label it that way.
Right. You're right. Completely.
And then you would say Native Americans or Pacific Islanders or whatever, Asians, whatever. So us two minorities lead the league when it comes to homicides and violent crime in the city of Chicago.
And that's why they target us more too.
Now, here's the funny part. So we lead the league by a margin, okay, compared to everybody else. Is it still fair for me to say, well, all minorities are bad?
Not all minorities are bad at all.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the argument. So the argument to me is like, if a small percentage of minorities are bad, right? And we lead the league though, right? So that means there's a big majority of it, which is probably a lot higher than the percentage you think police are bad.
Right.
Wouldn't I have more of a reason to say we're all bad versus they're all bad? Because they have less of a percent. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to say that the reason people say this all cops are bad thing is really not accurate.
It goes the same way for not all cops are bad and not all minorities.
And that's the way we should think of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we need cops.
We definitely do. We need good cops.
Because I'm not fighting. I mean, you're a fighter, but I'm not fighting. I'm calling 911.
Well, they're not fighting either. They're shooting people up.
They're shooting, yeah.
I don't know. There's just a lot of violence right now, and it's just like,
especially with younger kids going into gangs too. It's
I don't know what the solution is.
It's hard because they don't want a solution. They want us to keep on doing things like this. They want more people dead. They want more violence. That's what they want the city like. If they wanted to change, they would have made a change a long time ago.
It's like a Purge movie.
But do you think the government can completely change how people think?
Oh yeah, definitely. The way that, especially with the media and what they give and feed into our brains every morning, people watching the news, they're giving false information all the time. Just think about it. Like, at the end of the day, you should not be listening to the news. You should be listening onto the articles, read into more instead of feeding into the media, because the media does feed you bad things.
Yeah, the media lies. The media lies about everything,
and it makes people stupid.
I think here's the thing. Like, you say gang activity. So gang activity has been around since forever, right? Okay, so there's really no changing that. No matter who's president, no matter who's Mayor Daley or whoever, it doesn't matter. Gangs are always going to exist.
Yeah, forever.
So how do we change that? That has no government. No government's going to change that. So here's my proposal. My proposal has always been kind of the same. Ever since George Floyd's thing, all of that, I've always felt like the problem was never really the cops per se. The problem was really us. We as a society don't know how to act sometimes. We don't know how to act.
Yeah,
we act really, really stupidly. And we
like animals.
Now, I'm not saying we should get killed, by no means. But there's a lot of situations that I've seen where we could have took the easy way out. And we chose not to. We chose a harder route. Again, a lot of these things that happen, could they have handled them differently? Absolutely. But the person who initiated to begin with could have handled that a lot easier than any police officer could have. In most of these situations, it still ended roughly, right? And it's still not right. Like George Floyd's situation. So, what's his name? The cop's name? Chauvin. Right? Chauvin. So he's going to get his jail time.
Oh, yeah. He's gone.
Now, did he make a bad choice? Absolutely. Absolutely. He should have never done it. He made a horrible choice.
Yeah, he affected a lot of how everything is working right now.
Now, let's think about something. Could George have made a better choice?
I think personally, yes.
I think everybody in that situation could have made a better choice.
If they can go back in time.
And there's my thing. I think in a lot of these situations that happen, even in the little kid that got shot on the South Side, Toledo, Adam Toledo, the kid who got shot, the 13-year-old in the little village.
He pulled out a gun though.
Right.
Remember that.
But even with that one, people are twisting that one and saying, "Oh, why did the cop have to shoot?" Blah 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 blah.
But he had a gun on his back.
Sure. All I'm saying is that the situation would have been a lot better if the kid would have made a better choice, right? If he would have even if he had the gun, if he would have just stayed there, thrown the gun on the floor to begin with, whatever. There's 100 choices he could have made prior to the situation getting too where he died.
But he was scared and he was 13. He's young.
When do we stop using that excuse?
That's very true. You're right.
That can't be an excuse for everything.
That's true. He was shooting out guns at people's cars. I think exactly.
Yeah, in the corner. Yeah, and they got that on tape too. Again, I'm not blaming them 100%, but I can't blame cops 100% either. This is a problem. This is a problem this is a problem for both. Okay, another pause in the production there. But yeah, so real quick, just to sum this whole conversation up because it became very serious very quickly. I think when it comes to us as people in the city, the only way we're really going to improve things is for us to change how we do things away from police. You know, police have their own problems that they need to figure out.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They're not perfect. They do a lot of things bad and whatever. But I think we as a community, as people,
we got to grow together.
We need to change. We need to stop doing what we're doing because obviously what we're doing is causing problems. I mean, especially now, like how many shootings we have.
Michael, I got news for you. It's never going to happen.
Of course not.
I told you
you're a wishful thinker.
Long time ago. It's human nature. It doesn't even matter. It's not about race at all. It's just
how life
our
is.
nature to act the fool. Otherwise, at some point in time, we would have had a point of fucking peace, of fucking shit not happening. But has it ever stopped? No, it's never stopped, and it never will. So
I think it stopped during COVID when we're all in quarantine. That's the only time.
We were all forced to be inside the house.
That was
kind
the
of
only piece.
That was the most. That was the couple days we had like no crime, no nothing, no deaths, no nothing. But either way, I don't know. I just feel like the change really is going to have to start with us.
And that would take a very, very long time.
Yeah.
It's our generation is pretty fucked up right now. So it's.
I mean, I think your generation has a lot of good things to it.
Good things and bad things, let's be honest.
I
let's be honest.
You look like you want to say more bad than good.
No, you guys are a character. You guys are different, obviously. My cousin's daughter, Delilah, former employee of I'm kidding. She's your age, and you guys all have this. You guys have a mentality that's obviously different than mine and John's because me and John are millennials. But it's interesting to see you guys. You know how you guys think, even though we probably think it's wrong or incorrect or whatever. But I mean, this is when we have to try to meet somewhere in the middle, or at least try to meet somewhere in the middle.
Or at least some guidance into them.
I don't think you guys want guidance.
Oh, I definitely want guidance.
But everyone's different. Everyone's different. There's some Gen Zs that just you can't tell them shit.
Pretty decent amount want things their way. And
you can't tell them fucking shit.
Like damn, all right, damn. I was just trying to help you out.
I mean, if you tell them you get hit by a car, it's gonna hurt. They just no. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Okay, go ahead, try it.
I guess we got to learn from it to
But anyways, to wrap this show up, and I'm sorry that we went to this route.
No, you're fine.
But anyways, anything else you want to talk about real quick? 2 more minutes.
Honestly, I want to thank you for letting me be on this podcast. I always wanted to do something like this, so it's my first time, and I was actually really excited because I'm all about the cameras, and I'm not shy. I have a personality. I love talking.
And this is going to be the first guest is going to say, "No, I don't want to come back." Would you come back?
Fuck yeah, I would.
Okay, just making sure.
No, actually, I'm playing. I don't want to come back.
See, I told you.
Yeah,
you're kidding, right?
He's
Are you kidding?
No, I'm joking. No, I would love to come back.
I don't intimidate anybody. What are you talking about?
So we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. You had a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time. I love talking to you guys. You guys have a personality, so I enjoyed my time here.
Cool. Johnny.
Yeah.
Anything from you?
No.
Are you sure?
Not at all.
Nothing?
What?
No little
Can't
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
till,
nothing? Oh, wait. One question. We got to ask that real quick. You know of Arnold Schwarzenegger, correct?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so we asked this to every guest.
Oh, my God.
Do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good actor?
I think
honestly,
he was a good actor in the boxing movie when he did that.
No, you're thinking of Stallone. I'm the other big guy.
She's young. She's young.
The other big guy.
To be honest,
the one from Terminator.
He's like, get in the chopper.
That guy.
No, because he uses the same voices all the time. Like it's
his voice.
it's
He
just
cannot
him.
change his voice.
He can't. He plays himself.
Okay,
That's funny. That's
for
he's an actor. Yes, he can be aight. He's not the worst or the best, but he has.
I want to hear her with like a British accent when she does her movies, and then a Chinese one afterwards.
God. I think enough was said.
Your voice.
I think enough
Right.
was
I
said.
Thinking of his party.
There you go.
It's actually not bad.
Where's your British accent?
Let me hear it.
I don't have one.
Try it.
No.
You have country?
No.
He can imitate Arnold pretty well.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
No.
it. Come on, do it.
Last week's episode was good enough.
All of a sudden you can talk camera shy?
Yeah.
God. All right.
I
Since
did a
we've
frog for you twice during this episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since we have officially discovered that Arnold Schwarzenegger is not a good actor, I think with that we will close this episode of IMO. John, nothing. You're good.
I hope he
Destiny,
doesn't see
anything
this.
Anything else you
Insulted.
want to add?
Nah, I just want to say keep inspiring your dreams, keep doing what you want to do, and don't let anybody tell you can't do it.
And you hit my microphone, but it's
Damn,
fine.
my
Here we
bad.
go. And that's gonna be our show for today. And if
Peace out.
got any comments or anything, please leave them in the section below. Comment and subscribe. And if everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it, I got 3 words for you. Thanks for listening.